You're watching Terriervision.
Hello Terrier fans and welcome into Terriervision. Earlier this summer, with the drafting of Alex Wilson by the Atlanta Braves in the 15th round, that brings the number of former Wofford baseball players to 4 who are playing professional baseball. Michael Gilmartin at High A Stockton in the Oakland Athletics Organization in the California League, John Cornely at Low Class A Rome in the South Atlantic League for Atlanta, and Brandon Waring now at AAA Norfolk for the Baltimore Orioles in the International League, along with the aforementioned Alex Wilson at Advanced Rookie Ball with the Danville Braves in the Appalachian League. The schedule makers brought 2 of our former Terriers near campus this past week, and we had a chance to play 5 questions with Brandon Waring and John Cornely.
John Cornely, Wofford class of 2011, Braves 15th round draft pick 2011.
Hey, I'm Brandon Waring. I'm initially from Columbia, South Carolina. Played at Wofford from 05 to 07. I was part of the SoCon champion team in 2007, drafted by the Cincinnati Reds in the 7th round. Played 2 years with those guys, got traded to the Orioles, and I've been working my way up through their system, and now I'm here in AAA with the Norfolk Tides.
Nothing better than coming in at the end of the game. You got your adrenaline pumping. I love getting the last 3 outs, being the guy who jogs in when it's the opponent's last chance to tie the game up or to win the game. It's a feeling I can't get anywhere else off the baseball field, so it's something I love doing.
This year I started back in Bowie. It was my 3rd year in AA. Got off to a good start. You know, that was my goal coming into the season, was just to get off to a good start. The past 2 years I've gotten off to a slow start. So it felt good to, you know, put up some good numbers early, and now I'm here and just trying to do the same thing here.
Biggest adjustment is just it being a full season. You got 142 games instead of 72 games, so it's, you know, we got 8 or 9 off days all summer. Long season, gotta just make sure you stay healthy. Through 70 games, it's kind of like a college season. It's, you know, not much changes other than playing every day, but through the 142 games, you just got a long season, you gotta grind it out.
The biggest thing coming up the ladder is, you know, you're facing more advanced pitching, and you know, the game's faster. Everybody can really play at this level, so you have to be more consistent. You have to be able to make adjustments from, you know, not only at bat to bat, but pitch to pitch. So I think the main thing is just being consistent, you know, having that right mental adjustment every single day.
Most days start at about 10:30 in the morning for me. I go to the gym, get to the gym about 11, get to the field about 1:32, and you know, we got to be out here stretching usually around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Then, you know, we'll get a little break while the other team hits BP, and then come out about 20 minutes before the game and get your mind settled. And then a lot of times after games, the end of a series, we'll get on a bus at midnight and drive, you know, for however many hours. You know, last night it was 4 hours. You know, and get in at 4 o'clock in the morning and get up noon the next day and be ready to play. So it's you definitely get used to bus trips and making yourself comfortable in small areas.
The typical day is pretty long. You know, people don't realize how much we work, but we get to the ballpark, you know, at home, you know, 2 o'clock, we're out on the field by 3. You're taking ground balls, you're taking BP, you're in the cage. It's a lot of hard work. People think you just show up and play every day, but that's not the case. But it's definitely gotten better as the career has progressed. You know, in rookie ball, you're subject to a bad spread before the game that could consist of only peanut butter and jellies and a cooler of Gatorade, but now you get actual, you know, hot meals and whatnot. The hotels are nice in AAA, and you know, you fly some places, so some of the bus trips are out of the equation at this level, but you still have your 8-hour trip here and there.
You know, you have to take baseball as your career now. You can't be worried about anything else. I don't, you know, my day-to-day life, I don't worry about anything about set baseball and going out and doing my job, which is, you know, right now, you know, getting 1 out at a time. So that's all I worry about.
I think the main thing for a guy just starting out his career in the minor leagues is to just take it game by game. You know, in college you're playing 3 or 4 days a week, so you know, you can kind of battle through those ups and downs. You have some days off, but in the minors, you're playing every single day, so you have to be able to bounce back the next day. If you had an offer the night before, you just got to erase it and come clean slate, ready to play the next day.
Probably one of the best stories I've had is when Chipper Jones rehabbed with us. I was going up to ask him for an autograph, and he was sitting in a chair, and I came up behind him, and I came around him, and he was napping in the chair, and I was like, oh, that was a very inopportune time for me to come up from behind him and surprise him. But other than that, you know, always been called JC or Cornely, and that, or Corn or something. Any you can stick anything on the end of Corn, and I've been called it. So I've got many nicknames, most of them repeatable.
As far as nicknames go, I've been given a couple. Right now, the most recent one is Bear. I guess it stemmed from Werebear, but we dropped the Were, now I just go by the Bear. Some of the Latin guys call me Matute, which in Spanish means like big stick, because obviously I hit a lot of home runs. Let's see, as far as something funny I've seen in the clubhouse, as far as pranks, I've seen a guy have all his, you know, his undershirts and jockstrap, everything, they put it in a bucket and freeze the bucket, so the next day it's sitting in front of his locker as a big ice cube.